Hi, Emma here, back for another video, number 2 for today. In this video, I'm going to talk about brainwave states and altered states of consciousness. And it's pretty fresh in my mind. I was teaching my first prenatal class this morning as a volunteer at a crisis pregnancy center near where I live. So I was sharing this with them, and it's pretty fresh in my mind. So hopefully I can explain it decently well. So the first brainwave state is, so I guess what I should say to begin with is that our brain functions on electricity. So through the nerves and through the brain cells, there's electrical impulses firing all the time. And these impulses can be measured in a wave kind of system, I guess. I don't know. They can be measured in hertz, and they're also measured or categorized by frequency and amplitude. So how many waves there are in a given portion of time, and also how extreme those waves are. Some are really small like this, and some are more drastic like that. So the first brainwave state that we're in most of the time, I'm in it right now talking to you, making this video. Most of us are in it when we're thinking, when we're studying, when we're working, and it's called beta. And so this is where we experience normal reality. We use words in beta most of the time. Words is considered the frequency of beta, so to speak. It's where we make lists. It's how we judge things. We analyze things. It's really like the conscious thinking portion of the brain. Then the next state is alpha. And this one goes a little bit deeper below kind of the thinking, very conscious mind. And it really awakens the senses. So if you were to like walk into a beautiful garden and all of a sudden your senses just kind of come alive and you can smell like multiple different flowers, like you can just like pick them out kind of in your environment, or all of a sudden you hear birds where before you were just hearing kind of like, or maybe not even noticing the drowning noise of the traffic from where you parked your car or something like that. And all of a sudden you just realize how quiet it is. Or maybe you have a really good meal and all of a sudden you just kind of can like taste all the nuanced flavors, and you can kind of notice all the different textures, and the colors are really vibrant to you, and you're just kind of like feeling a lot more. Maybe you're really connecting with the person you're enjoying this meal with. That's how we feel when we're in more of like the alpha brainwave state. And it's a place where we dream, we're relaxed. We might be daydreaming, actually. A lot of the time, if you're kind of just zoned out, that's often when you're in alpha, and then you come back to beta, and then you're like, oh, sorry, I zoned out for a minute. And then the next one is theta. And so this is more our subconscious mind. So this is where we have more awareness and understanding of certain maybe big things that are just kind of sitting there in our subconscious. We go into this state when we have deep meditation or prayer. We are in this state when we're having the rapid eye movement or REM sleep, and dreaming, things like that. Also during peak experiences. So think of like kind of the big peak experiences of your life, or maybe time just seemed to like alter a little bit, or like something just drastic and memorable happened. This is where we also hold a lot of our memories, and it's also where we go when we get like creative inspiration. And then the fourth one of the main 4 that I'm going to talk about is delta. And so this is known more as the realm of the unconscious. So the subconscious is kind of just below our consciousness, which is theta, and this is more the realm of the unconscious, so things we're maybe not even aware of. And so we go into this realm more in like a really deep restorative sleep. It's the frequency that can bring up our intuition and our instincts. You can often have like a deep sense of knowing something after being in Delta. And it also sometimes for some people can allow us to glean information that isn't always available to us on a conscious level. And so the thing that's really cool about the brainwave states and the altered states of consciousness is that a woman left undisturbed in birth will go through these different stages. And also I would say that I would note too that you can fluctuate between them, and you can dip down into one and come back up to a higher one and dip back down. So it doesn't have to be strictly linear. But as we are birthing our babies and in labor, you'll go through these stages if you're left undisturbed to kind of go through the birth journey and let it unfold according to your physiology, which I think is super cool. And I've actually seen it happen, which was so fascinating to me after I learned about this over the summer, to see a birth where someone very clearly was going through these different altered states of consciousness and brought her baby into the world in a really beautiful way. So hopefully that maybe you learned something new, or maybe it's a good reminder if you already knew this before. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.